Rolling.
Hi, this is Sean B-Tech, and I'm making this video for Dawna Heising for the Robowoman fight choreography and training. This is my boy Leo. He really wanted to get in on this and attack me. You can use this choreography if you want. It's called the hat bite. But otherwise, I'm going to show you some moves you can work on, Dawna. All right. My lovely assistant, Allie. Okay, so you can see my feet?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to work on this stance where you turn your toes out and then in. This is important for stability. And this is going to be really important for a couple scenes where you block a bunch of punches and when you're blocking the bullets. Okay, and basically, again, the stance is just like this. Try to do it in like flat shoes or barefoot to begin with. Just stand tall, toes out and in, and you'll end up sinking like this. And you want to get that. And here's why: because when I have you blocking bullets, boom, 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 and I'm gonna actually have you backhand a bullet at some point. But we're gonna speed you up. Boom. And the more stable you are in like a horse and still, the more it'll work. Okay? So that's what we're calling the horse stance. 2, there's a few moves I want you to work on to begin. So first is you're going to have a flurry of punches. And to do a flurry of punches, I want you to do what's a traditional Wing Chun form punch. And basically, you take 2 fists and they're vertical like this. And just go bam, bam, bam. I'm going to cut to walk and throw these punches. Boom. Okay? Basically, you can just fire these off really fast. But what you won't have is you're going to have one cybernetic arm and one real arm. So you won't be doing a lot of this. This will be more like what other people are doing to you. However, you should learn this with chain punch. Okay? So if we were to take one hand out and use one hand, which is what you'll be using most of the time because it's the cybernetic hand, we got to do bigger punches. And so to work on that, just your rehearsal, chamber back like this and learn to shift, bam, bam. And you kind of shift off center like you're dodging out of a punch's way. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Boom. And if you wanted, like if you've ever seen there's an anime called One Punch Man, and in One Punch Man he shifts like this, always, and shifts and boom, and lays that punch out. And it's basically what I'm showing you. It's a kung fu punch. But he turns sideways like this, and he turns all the way from back here. And when he's punching, they accelerate it to the speed of light and do all these effects on his fist, and bam. Just straight at the camera. So if you want to work on that, turn sideways. And in Kung Fu, they teach you to lead with the forward hand. So bam, boom. And then you should just get back. So boom, boom, boom. And that's 3. So 1, 2, bam. And this one's quick. It's just straight, boom. And then the back one has the shift. And the punch, you could do a vertical or horizontal. And then when you bring it back, the energy of bringing it back throws this shoulder forward. Boom. So you can actually hit again. Because jabbing with one hand over and over again is very weak. If you want to be able to do that, you got to shift. Boom. And line up your shoulders. Boom. And so that also teaches you the beginning of some of the weapons. Boom. techniques. But so that's that. So basically you've got this horse, which is your sinking. This is called a crapping goat stance. You've got this horse where you just turn your toes out one more time and sink. And this is good practice. I'll probably have you doing this with me on set because it looks like you're training. So this protects your head. This is called a Q-sow. This is another move that you'll be using. You chamber like this with your, kind of like a leopard grab, and you chamber all the way back. So you put your chest way out, and then you squeeze your muscles and exhale. Protect your head, chamber. This is super traditional training. But why you really do this is so you can turn sideways and take a lot of your body out of the action. If I'm like this, I'm a huge target for bullets. If I'm like this, it's more like fencing. I'm not going to get hit by the sword near as much. And then you get low here, and you can fight sideways. You can use all your techniques. Okay, so do that one more time. Stand tall, feet together, relax, chamber up like this, sink, toes out, toes in, sink. This is goat stance, this is dragon stance. Protect your head, chamber, and Q-sow. Now this Q-sow, I want you to use it as one of your bullet blocking techniques. And you've probably seen it in Karate Kid where they're like wax on, wax off. Or whichever one is whichever way, I don't remember. The Q-sow goes like this. And it's a good technique. Like if you were to like try to get out of the way out of like, whoosh, boom. So I imagine that you could go dink with a Q-sow and we have a spark like at some point. And you've just blocked with a good Kung Fu technique. And you just do that sink right here, and Q-sow out. Q-sow out. And it's kind of circular. Circular techniques are water techniques. Here's another circular technique you need to work on. It's called Hun-sow. Basically with your hand on center, this is where you'd have your sword in the middle of a fight. Like if you're fencing, you'd have something here. And you could do this with a sword. I'll show you with a sword in a second. You point your wrist at yourself, rotate it around, and come around. This is Hun-sow. You can do it with fingers, you can do it with your wrist, you can do it with your whole arm, and you can do it with your whole shoulder. And if you do it with a weapon, this is really illustrative too. Okay, so if you've got the sword like this, this is like that Hun-sow. Okay. Now, when you do your techniques with your hands, you're always doing it with like the blade of your hand. When you go down low, you go like so. And then when you come around, you turn that blade back in. Okay. Now, if you watch with a sword, this is the ton. I turn the blade, go in a circle. It's cutting, cutting, cutting. It can't cut here. It turns to cut, and it cuts in. So it cuts out, it turns, and cuts in. Your hand does the same thing. It cuts, turns around, and chops in. And that's a big circle. It's a water technique. And I think that when Dustin is the character's name, I think. When Dustin shoots at you and you block it, I think the first block should be like, just totally instinctive, like ding. And both of you should be a little bit surprised. And then after that, Justin's not an idiot, because he says block this, and he unloads at you. And I don't think he would just shoot at the same spot. He would shoot at your head, then at your legs, and like all over the place. So what we'll have to work on is you will have to block one, or like block this one, you bring it down totally surprised. And then from here, you can do a Q-sow, boom. Then you can do a Gon-sow, boom, the block low. And then you can, after blocking low, finish the circle, boom, block across your heart. And then you could taunt, which is from here, you taunt up and under like this, It's like you're holding a mirror and looking at yourself in the mirror. Some people call it mirror hand. Boom. And then another hand is a bong sao, which is they call it a broken wing arm. So from here you can go bam. And then there's a jut sao, which is from bong. You just put your hand down like this, like you block a low one. And then from here, I'll have you do a bong like this. It'll block, your whole arm will block the front of your body. And then from here, I think that you should just like backhand one. Just bang! And like, it should like just either hit the guy or just narrowly miss him. Not like kill him or end the battle, but like it ends him unloading the gun at you. And then that's when you go up and you grab him. So just to go over that one more time, you're in your horse. We'll start with a ton. No, okay. You start with a instinctive block. Then there's a close-up on probably both of you. And then he shoots. So I want you to go from this position to the Q sao. And then you can slap across. Then you can gon sao down. And then continue the circle and cover your chest again. I moved just a little bit, but we'll try to have you not move a lot. And then, I can't remember what we had next. Bong sao, jut, and then from the jut, backhand. And just backhand a bullet right back at him. So you can work on these various moves. And what you should do, Dawna, is ton sao up and just hold it like this. Just hold this. With a sword, it's like this. It's a two-handed like this. This is a two-handed ton. Okay. There's a bong, which is a broken wing arm. It's very relaxed. There's a gon, which chops down. And the chop down comes around and blocks your heart. And then we'll have you backhand. Okay, so there's a couple of things as well I want you to work on, because we're doing a lot of one-handed techniques. I want you to do this one, where someone's gonna have a hold of you at some point, and I want you to practice like, as we were just in that stance we're talking about, throwing this elbow up and back. Boom, boom. Okay. This is your first move to get out of that technique. Boom, and then if we want to continue using your right hand, boom, I'm going to have you step back with your left foot and swing around, bam. Okay, so elbow to get him off, step back, boom. And this is called often a cheating hand, because it's not really a good kung fu technique. You don't even have to hit the hand, you don't even have to have a perfect hand. You just kind of generally clothesline with your whole forearm when you do this technique, the cheating hand. So someone's got a hold of you, wham, it can be high or it can be low, depending on, however, boom, and then step back with your left foot, loosen this arm up so it swings around, and swing this arm ahead of you. So it's like, bam, bam, just clobber him. Now, if he's too close, let's say we're in a tight range, you can just do two elbows. It's almost the same thing. So you go bam, step back, bam, bam, bam. All right, stop here.